welcome to the first episode of the Lost Tape Review with Matthew Salzer. And for this October, I thought I would do something different and review the series Lost Tapes, which ran from 2008 to 2010. It spanned three seasons, 34 episodes, and it was in the found footage genre. And for those who don't have good memories, the found footage genre seemed to have been going through kind of a craze with the Paranormal Activity series, Cloverfields, Wreck, Apollo 18, and several other examples in the mainstream media. So the genre was definitely on a high note at that time, and Animal Planet and Go Go Lucky Productions thought it was a good time to jump on the bandwagon. Now, for those who don't know Go Go Lucky Entertainment, it was best well known for the Laguna Beach and Newport Harbor series that garnered Lauren Conrad some notoriety. Unlike the Laguna Beach and Newport Beach series, though, which was in the reality TV genre, Lost Tapes was more of a mockumentary found footage format. This was not the first series, nor the last, that Go Go Lucky Entertainment would do. However, this one was definitely more on the low budget end and came off as rather cheesy at times, with clearly bad special effects and at times clearly bad acting. However, sometimes they were able to do it the right way. The best way to describe the series was inconsistent at best. Some episodes were good, some not so much. Some episodes had good parts in it and some had bad. But the overall premise of the story was that it documented encounters with primarily cryptozoological creatures. Those are animals that are thought to exist by outlier scientists but aren't exactly proven. Extreme scientific community. Some of the more well-known examples that appeared throughout the series were the Chupacabra, the Yeti, the Bigfoot, the Mothman, and the Jersey Devil, just to name a few. It also went into the area of Native American folklore with creatures like the Wendigo, the Skinwalker, Thunderbird, other folklore in the Western world like vampires and werewolves, supernatural creatures like zombies and poltergeists, and even some aliens with a more generic fly-type alien and the reptilians. As I mentioned, the series went on Animal Planet, and while there wasn't really much consistency throughout the series, the episodes were in an anthology format with no clear continuity between episodes. In the third season, the Enigma Corporation was included. It appeared to be a private contractor that dealt with quote-unquote issues in the unexplained. The two main characters in the 3 episodes Incorporation appeared in Noel Connor and Elise Mooney. Let's note the budget was not good. Some of the CG was bad for the time, let alone the modern day, which is why at times they relied on stuff like the Jaws effect, in which you didn't see the creature or didn't see a lot of the creature, sparingly using cheap costumes or animatronics. Also, the sound effects were pretty cheaply used too, as were stuff like stock footage when displaying facts. One of the things the series did pretty well was interviewing of various scientists and folklore in order to plant a seed of doubt in the mind of people that even though what they were watching was fictional, these creatures might actually exist, as was the end of each episode, do they live among us? Of note, there were initial plans for a 4th season to be made. However, the series was quietly canceled. No official announcement was ever made, and Go Go Lucky Productions has since been bought out by Eclipse TV. Now, whether there could ever be a revival of the series, we may never know. It might happen, it might not. If you like a good thrill, go ahead and watch it. Over the next few weeks, I will be reviewing the 3 seasons a little bit more in depth. After that, there will be one more episode of my time travel series. And then based on the reaction from these and that, I will see where to go from there. Maybe I might continue. Suggestions are always appreciated. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. As I mentioned, comment down below if you want to see something specific done, especially with lost tapes, maybe a specific episode, the Enigma Corporation in depth. Check out my social media links in the description below, and I will see you next time. Hello, welcome to this week's episode of the Lost Tapes Review. I am Matthew Salzer, your host, and this week we will be going over Season 1 of this TV show Lost Tapes. If you don't know about Lost Tapes, feel free to check out the first episode reviewing the series overall. The first season was very much an experimental season. There were actually several different formats done. It had more of a mysterious format rather than the horror format that the series would be more well known for in subsequent seasons. While there were episodes that would very much show the format that it was known for, lost tapes of encounters with cryptids, there were episodes that had a variation of footage along with reports that were posted by people. Again, these were not as common, and as I said, after this season, that format would be completely abandoned. This season was also the longest in terms of number of episodes. It had 14 total episodes. Some well-known cryptids included the Chupacabra, the Bigfoot, and the Mothman. They also had several different variations of well-known creatures. Bobo of Monterey Bay is a variation of Nessie is thought to be being a plesiosaur. There was the Honey Island Scamp Monster, which is thought to be a variation of Bigfoot, though this was a completely different species entirely. There's the Owlman, which is a variation of the Mothman. There was a snake called the Megaconda, which was supposed to be a giant anaconda and is thought to have existed. Again, this is a variation of the thought that some creatures that existed in the past may indeed still be alive. Along that line, there was also the Mongolian deathworm, thought to inhabit the deserts of Mongolia. A variation of the mythical sirens called the Oletian. You also had a venture into Native American folklore, which would also be later other episodes. The creatures in question this season were the Thunderbird and the Skinwalker, and there was even a supernatural episode, the season finale, which had the Hellhound. As I mentioned before, the seasons vary in terms of atmosphere. This was the only one that had, as I said, a more mysterious feel to it. And as with Season 2, this season had a complete anthology series with no connection between episodes. There was no mention of anything with regards to anything in the previous continuity. They were all pretty much self-contained. Now, whether they existed in the same universe is another question entirely, as that was addressed. Of note is that there was an episode called the Oklahoma Octopus, which covered the idea that there may indeed be octopi living in the freshwater lakes of Oklahoma. Now, as I mentioned in my last episode, the production was rather cheaply done. There's actually background shots of what is clearly Southern California standing in for Midwestern areas, and as I mentioned before, this is because of a low budget, and also, as I mentioned before, examples of the Jaws effect and cheap CGI are used to cover for the fact that there was not a good effort done in terms of the special effects. However, as I said, for a few episodes, it actually works pretty well. Look at the Chupacabra episode, the season premiere, and there's parts of it that are pretty good, though as I mentioned as well, the acting is all over the place. As I said in the last episode as well, it's inconsistent at best. Some episodes are good, some are not. Whichever ones you like, you have to watch for interpretation. Of note, all episodes are available on Animal Planet right now. I want to thank you all for watching, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below what you want me to post next. I will be continuing seasons 2 and 3 the week after and on Halloween specifically. Be sure to follow in my social media links below, and I will see you next time. Hello and welcome to this week's episodes of Lost Tapes Reviews with me, Matthew Salzer, and I am again reviewing the TV series Lost Tapes, which ran from 2008 to 2010. If you have not heard my overviews of this series overall, or please check out the videos listed in the suggestions or on my channel. And today I'm going over Season 2. Season 2 was 4 episodes shorter than Season 1, 10 episodes, a standard that would be succeeded by Season 3 as well. In this season, the mysterious format was gone and an entire horror format was completely embraced by the producers. All episodes followed a found footage format, none conformed to the experimental episodes of some reports listed in some of the episodes. Some of the well-known cryptids listed were the Lizard Man, Jersey Devil, and Dover Demon. In folklore, there were vampires and werewolves that made appearances, and some variations included the folk monster referred to as the Southern Sasquatch, giant centipedes, again a suggestion that there might be extinct animals existing in the modern day, the White River Monster and the Bear Lake Monster, both variations of existing cryptids, and even an alien making an appearance, this one though coming off as more of a parasite. Also, the vampires that appeared weren't your typical vampires, and some of the episodes again were very well done, others, as I mentioned before, due to the inconsistent nature of the show, not so much so. However, the interviews seem to be coming a little bit more often, with experts weighing in on their particular assigned episodes, and it seemed to have been done quite well. Something that this series did for sure was the fact that they incorporated certain experts, being folklore, cryptozoologists, and various other people into the episodes in terms of interviews, and again planting that seed that these creatures may exist in the real life, as mentioned at the end of the episodes. Do they live among us? I honestly feel like this was a natural progression of the show. I would suggest giving this season a look. It felt a little bit better overall, and as I've mentioned before, you can find them on the Animal Planet main website, as long as with various channels on YouTube. And thank you very much for watching this episode. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below if you want to see me do something very specific on the series, possibly specific episodes, or maybe subjects of the episodes, maybe just looking at the monsters themselves. Comment down below, as I mentioned. Also, be sure to follow me on my social media links in the description, and I will see you next week for the finale of this current. Hello and happy Halloween. I am Matthew Salzer again, and welcome to Lost Tapes Reviews with myself as your host. This is the final episode of my current run of reviews with regards to the series Lost Tapes. If you do not know what that is, feel free to look up the episodes on my channel, which cover the series overall and the previous 2 seasons up until this point. Season 3 again followed the standard format of horror-related genre. However, unlike the previous 2 seasons, this season finally introduced some continuity in a few of the episodes, 3 of them being with the Enigma Corporation. It was described as a corporation specializing in the unexplained, and was used as contractors with regards mainly to law enforcement, but was also used with other situations as well. The main two characters that appeared between episodes were Noel Connor and Elise Mooney. One of the episodes took place in 2008 and the other two in 2010. I would argue that the first two episodes were the better of the two, as they involved monsters that could be portrayed by humans very easily. Now, well-known cryptids of the series included the Yeti, and that was about it. You had variations like the Beast of Bray Road, which is a variation of the werewolf, so to think, and the reptilians, which are thought to be a variation of aliens. Cryptids that came in from folklore, including the kraken, the devil monkey, which is thought to inhabit the mountains of the Appalachians, and the Strigoi vampire, which is a variation of the vampire. And as I mentioned before, this was in one of the Enigma Corporation episodes. Another one was in the zombies, which falls into more of a supernatural category. And these zombies of note were actually a combination of the voodoo and flesh-eating zombies, not something you see very often. The modern zombie is considered the flesh-eating type, introduced by George A. Romero, but before that they were the voodoo-type zombies, which were merely mindless slaves. Other creatures included the poltergeist, the Wendigo, or cannibal spirit of Native American folklore, and Quetzalcoatl, one of the Aztec gods. As I mentioned before, after Season 3, the series was quietly cancelled with no actual warning, and there were actual rumored plans of a fourth season right up until the passing of the normal time when the series would have been broadcast. As I've mentioned in previous episodes, the series is currently available on the Animal Planet website for free, which is surprising considering things nowadays. If you would like, I would suggest watching it right now. There are also episodes on YouTube posted by various YouTube channels. As I mentioned in the opening, a revival is complicated by Go Go Lucky Entertainment, the production company, having been bought out by Eclipse TV. So whether this series could ever see a comeback is up for debate. However, something similar could come up. Similar things have been done. Either way, if you want me to talk about other parts within the Lost Tapes folklore itself, let me know in the comments section below. Again, thank you very much for watching this series, all those of you who did. This has been very fun to do during this Halloween season. Like I said, I wanted to do something different. Tomorrow I will be posting a time travel theory video with regards to Terminator Dark Fate. And then after that, based on the reactions, I will see what all should be done from there. Maybe I'll stick with the time travel theory. Maybe I'll dip into Lost Tapes more. Maybe even I'll try some of both. Either way, thank you very much for watching this. Again, this was very fun to do. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe down below. Again, if you want to see something done specific with me, leave a comment in the section below. I would even be willing to do an overview of what I know of Season 4. The plans for it anyways. And happy Halloween, everybody.